think it was just the sort of impetus for me was I was on a couple of websites and people are like waxing lyrical. I think he was one of the best players in the park. And I'm like, wait a minute, no. But he doesn't waste a ball, which is good. But he's not really putting the through balls to create many goals or anything like that. And I think when he's playing, there's a lot more pressure on Scott Brown because if Johansson's away, there he's running, and he's like the forward-thinking midfielder. Brown's not got another anchor man because he's just basically either passing the ball to Brown or because he's not protecting the defence, as you say. Mulgrew, because Mulgrew's got the defensive instinct. He does protect the defence. I don't really rate Charlie Mulgrew either. I don't think he's an amazing player, but I think his reading of the game is shocking. But he can play with the ball as well. But
Charlie's got a more hustle about him than Beaton does. You know what I mean?
Aye, and you see, I mean, Scott Brown scored a few goals for Scotland when Mulgrew was playing in beside him. As you say, Jason, just protecting that space that Brown could then go up. Because Strachan had identified Brown's ability to come in at corners and free kicks and hit a ball. So, I mean, it's these kind of things, you kind of do. I mean, you didn't want to downcry the league to an extent, but I genuinely feel, and I think Harper touched on this earlier, it's like, I feel like we could just go out and blow most of this league away. No problem whatsoever. And that perhaps we do worry too much about the opposition in certain times. I mean, it can take the competitive edge away from you a wee bit, I think, where I've never went into a game in years thinking we're going to get beat here or anything like that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of different to when it was more confidence related. But now I think the edge, I mean, even though we're not top of the league right now and we've got a game in hand, I didn't feel any edge to it at all. I didn't feel like we're in any danger whatsoever of no winning the league this season. And I think to win this league this season would be a really good league to win because it'll transcend. And as Jason says, 3 in a row is the most I've seen Celtic win. So to win 4 in a row would be fantastic. And it actually struck home to me last night. I was 2 nights ago, scanning Twitter, and somebody had posted up a thread that was on follow that had about 10,000 bloody replies to it, and it was all about what they would do if they managed to stop us winning 10 in a row. And to think that we'd be in that position a mere 15 years after we almost seen them do it is fucking unbelievable to me, like.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you. And the Celtic fans are actually apologists. They kind of say, how can you celebrate that? How can you... I mean, see this league that we're playing in, it's more competitive than the 9 in a row leagues that they won.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? The disparity in wages compared to what they were paying when they were cheating and what we were paying or anybody else was paying was incredible. And it's like we were finishing 5th in the league, so they weren't getting the challenge for us. But you didn't see any of them apologising. You didn't see any of their crowds getting done.
No,
exactly. They loved it because that's what they're all about. They're all about being better than people and like loving it and rubbing their nose in it and the sort of triumphalism shite. We kind of feel a wee bit awkward, as if it's no our place in life. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't feel the slightest bit awkward now. I'm loving it.
No, and also, when Celtic won 9 in a row, I mean, they couldn't wait to reconstruct the league to try and stop us. There was never any real talk of that when Rangers were going on. And, I think the general big picture point is fucking enjoy it. Because I tell you, it's a hell of a lot worse when you're only winning the league and you're only challenging for the fucking league and you're only going to teams like Killie and winning convincingly. That's when it really fucking stinks. And we've all had plenty of that in our lives. So let's enjoy this. The football mightn't be, but remember, it was propped up for 20 years by a fucking cheat who made everybody fucking bar Celtic basically live within their means, and teams have suffered for years, trying to pay that money back to try and possibly keep up with Rangers and so on. And now we're in a position where Aberdeen's debt-free, Hibs are on the white fan ownership, Motherwell's debt-free fan ownership, Hearts are debt-free, Dundee United are making profits in Santander. There will be a renaissance coming. There's no doubt about it, and we will see these teams come back.
I was in the way back for. I was away at the weekend. Me and Linda and the kids were away to Glencoe, and on the way back on Sunday, we stopped off at Motherwell, just across the Fir Park. You get some messages and stuff before we went up the road, and all the sheep were all arriving for their game, and it was still a couple of hours before the game. See the amount of them, by the way. There was tons of them. their buses were coming in, they were mobbed. And I actually seen it on the TV, I think, by the front few rows, they filled their end. And they are really getting behind their team. And they're loving it. And I think that was the first time in 20-odd years they'd been top of the league after a certain time.
Aye, that's right.
First time in 20-odd years they've been top of the league. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. And it's just a shame that a lot of Celtic fans just don't have the impetus to go and watch us anymore.
And they're spitting bullets about Niall McGinn being in the Celtic end last night.
He's a Celtic supporter.
They're not happy.
None of us were spitting bullets when Lee Griffiths were in the Hibs end.
No.
They need to get it.
Wasn't Xander
just saying
Damon?
Aberdeen fans, they're not happy.
Wasn't Xander Damon the big Celtic fan?
Aye.
See that
Niall McGinn, he would walk back to Celtic Park.
I was sure you knew it yourself.
If we were in for him again, he would walk back. I mean, even what the lad had done for that Kano dance that night, he just finished playing for Aberdeen, and he came out and jumped in his car and drove all the way down to go to the Kano dance.
Celtic convention, he was the only person that came over to represent the club, and he done it off. Well, his agent Jerry set it up. He was the only person there representing Celtic that was currently at the club at the time in Las Vegas.
Aye.
I mean,
he's just a Celtic supporter, And the thing is, see if he's an Aberdeen player and he's producing the goods for them. I mean, I'm sure he's professional. As if I come down to a end of season playoff, he'd be wanting to beat us.
Oh, aye.
Of course he would.
He'd be trying his arse off to beat. So what are they moaning about? All they need to worry about is how he performs in the park for them, because that's all I would care about if he's a Celtic supporter. If he's a Celtic player, going to watch another team apart from the zombies, obviously.
See that their apologist thing you mentioned, Jason? I think that's a symptom of the Sevco thing as well. Not only are they saying a Scottish game will die without Rangers, now you can't even have fucking fulfilling victories without Rangers. You know what I mean? It's
we follow a football team who plays by the rules, who supporters fund the team, because the vast majority of our income come from us buying season tickets and going to the matches. So we just get the biggest support in Scotland. We're the richest club in Scotland. We've done it all by the rules, and we're feeling a bit awkward about it. No, I'm sorry. I'm not in the slightest.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
I think also as well, more and more, we're living in this age where a lot of football fans expect fucking everything to be instant, all the time. It has to be win, win, win. It's like they support their team game by game. And it's like, oh, brilliant, fantastic 1 week. The next week, shite, get rid of everybody.
Aye.
Football does not fucking work like that. You know what I mean? It just does not work like that. We went through that shite, fucking long summers without managers and that, and it done us fucking no good whatsoever. You've got to give people a chance to actually do stuff. I mean, we've already talked about the abuse. I've seen so-called sales supporters getting dial about, get them to fuck this, that, next time. And you kind of think, so what is it you exactly want? Do you know what I mean? What kind of thing? What do you actually expect us to do? We're never going to sign fucking players that's going to put us 30 points clear. And if we did, nobody would go because it's fucking far too easy. So what exactly do you want? It can't be good every week. It can't be brilliant every week. But what you can do is support team. And especially now, we've talked about this a million times in the show, there's going to be a fucking onslaught on the club, and it started already between now and that fucking semi-final. So didn't feed into it by saying, I would get rid of him and that. And didn't fucking feed into these half-wits like McAvenny, Sutton and Hartson, Blether and on look shite because they need an extra few quid. I mean, I believe McAvenny's beef is because he doesn't get in the boardroom for fuck all. I mean, we talk about, I actually read somebody saying Celtic legend Frank McAvenny, right? Now, great player for Celtic, to TD double and all that kind of thing. He was here a year and a half and then had another fucking year spell. I mean, are we really going to put him in the legendary status? The guys, the Betty Olds and the Bobby Murdocks and the Jimmy McGrory's and all that? Of course not. But somehow in their mind, they have put themselves in a place where it's like, well, I'm a Celtic legend, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but you choose to only criticise, and that's why we fucking get pissed off with it. Do you know what I mean? You have the platform.
That entire centenary team are Celtic legends to me, to be fair.
Well, not to me they wouldn't be, because it's only 2 or 3 of them in that team. But the point is, if they were actually consistent then I would listen to them. But if they're only getting an extra few quid to spout fucking negativity, then why on earth would we listen to them?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I know, you're right. I mean, if you talk about Celtic legendary status, you've got the Lisbon Lions, without a doubt, and then you've got another half a dozen.
More, I'd say.
And you'd say more than half a dozen outside the Lisbon Lions.
Right.
Paul McStay, Danny McGrain,
Tommy Burns,
Kenny Dalglish, Tommy Burns,
Larson,
Emmett Larson, David Hay.
No, I don't know.
But that's to you. That's not, you can't.
To me, well, it's me that's talking. I'm not talking on your behalf, Harper.
Right, you can.
But you're saying no.
But then you're going back, obviously, Jimmy McGrory, players like that. They must be in the Patsy Gallagher.
Charlie.
At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't class guys like Frank McAvenny anywhere near legends of status. You know, Big Roy Aiken, I loved him, but I wouldn't class him as like a Celtic legend.
I think McAvenny's personality was pretty legendary, more than his service to the club. You know, because he's kind of known for being a personality.
Well, I always think guys like him I always kind of dislike because they left us in the lurch. You know, they left us for pastures new, and that kind of hacked me off. Like Charlie Nicholas, I loved Charlie Nicholas when I was a kid, but when he left to go to Arsenal at an early age, I was like, nah, piss off. You know, it's like, nah. Brian McClare, when he left at the top of his game, I mean, at the end of the day, if I was there, I would have done it as well, but I wouldn't have. You know, you can't have a gripe with then kids who you're their heroes and sort of turn against you. Like Paul McStay goes without saying, Danny McGrain goes without saying, Tommy Burns, absolutely. But you said that centenary season, Harper. I would say like Tommy Burns and Paul McStay, and
that entire team was just a legendary team to me. That's my favourite team, so that's, do you know what I mean?
It's because you're younger and that's the one that you loved watching more than any other. But
Peter Grant was my favourite player, do you know what I mean? Wasn't a great football player, but he was practically a one-club band, do you know what I mean?
Aye, but he's nowhere near a legend.
But he must
I know it's a personal thing, but that's another podcast then, I think, yeah.
Isn't he Lennon a legend then?
Aye, absolutely. Yeah. The service that he gave us as a player and a manager, and we went through it, blood. The hell. As I said, we've said before, there's nobody's walked in his shoes.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, Brendan Tian's asking in the chat room, we're going to go on to this.
Paul Tim's trying his hardest.
Is he? I can't see that. And
so the Bolton game at the weekend.
Was he?
Oh, he was fucking in some, I don't know where he was. It looked like he was in Neil Lennon's house. At some point in the pictures, it was like in a wee dining room or something. Guess about that boy, like.
Absolutely. He's like Forrest Gump. He's just everywhere.
He's gone to Gran Canaria, I know.
Aye.
He must have won the lottery or something. I mean,
he must have an understanding manager, I'll tell you that.
We'll find out in years to come, Paul Tim's been running cocaine in his backpack. Fucking foreign lads.
Aye, he's got some racket got him the delivery drivers Mazda.
So we didn't all talk about...
I'm telling you.
He's going to walk away like Kaiser Soze one day. Like, walk away like Kaiser Soze one day with a posh accent and everything, you know, just something will just clear up.
Probably a Hibs fan.
So anyway, he's more amongst them deep pockets.
All of it boring you.
Aye.
Here, I'm boring me, for fuck's sake.
God almighty.
I've got a few things here. Let me see. I just got a direct message for Maxi Boy on Twitter, and it's something to do with Carluke Shamrock. Can you do a big thank you to all the Carluke Shamrock crew for their donation to the Invisibles at Christmas. And a big thank you to all yous for your continued support. Thanks, Robert. There was something else about CQN. They've got, do you know about this advert in the Herald?
No.
So, Stephen McTiernan asked me on Twitter to promote this, so he sent me an email. The bloggers on CQN have banded together to fund their advert in the Herald on the 25th of January. This is timed close to our first ever meeting with Sevco and is a full page ad to highlight the insanity of the one club myth The idea is to highlight the stupidity of their claim and we'll deal in facts